Hi, this is Kathy from Bright Matter Studio, and today I want to share with you some tips on how to create an impactful first impression on your website. So, needless to say, the first area that your visitors will come to in your website is called the above the fold area. This is prime real estate on your website because it's the first place that people will come to. And if you're a course creator, you want to convey the value of your course straight away. You're not beating around the bush, right? So it's truly, truly important that you maximize the potential of this area in order to impactfully draw in your potential students and grab their attention and keep them on the journey. You can also use this opportunity as you're watching the video as like a little mini workshop and have your pen and paper ready so that you can jot down some notes when I give you these prompts. So the first thing that your potential students need to be ultimate, ultra, super clear on is what is your course about? And this will create an opening line for your website. I would describe your opening line as a set of headline and subheadline, which will include what your course is about and for whom it is. And it should be very clear and in plain language. I would avoid being too vague or too abstract in the opening line and instead focus on really describing the solution that your ideal audience is looking for and just being very as specific as you can. And I'm going to show you some examples to show you this. But let me also mention that the common mistakes that people make in their headline is that they try to get too creative with it and it ends up being confusing or not hitting the point about what their course is actually really delivering. So that's something to keep in mind. And here are some examples. So in this case, this is a sample course about Squarespace coding. Instead of saying something general and broad like empower your designs with Squarespace CSS, something more specific and targeting your ideal audience would say, learn the basics of Squarespace CSS in 6 weeks. I think this becomes really clear to what level you're expecting the students to be and how long it takes. And it just sets up kind of like a realistic expectation of what people are signing up this for this course for, right? It's about basics, Squarespace CSS. So it's really targeting the beginners. But it's also getting to the heart of what they're desiring, the outcome that they're desiring. Because what do they really want? They want to get savvy with creating their own codes. So get savvy with creating your own codes to elevate your designs. That's the ultimate motivation for learning Squarespace coding for this group of people, right? They want to be able to go beyond the basic designs, being able to create custom codes. And I'm going to show you a next example. So the next example is taken from like a health and wellness course website. And the original headline would read something like Women's Qigong for Health and Longevity. But we're looking for something a little bit more specific and targeted for their ideal audience. And if you really understand the challenges that come with, let's say, women, the ideal women clients or students who are looking for a course like this, because there's a certain age group that may grow interest for something like Qigong, right? So if you really understand your ideal audience, then you would know that they have certain challenges that are specific to their age. So you can create a headline that's a little bit more specific and really catering to your ideal audience. So Qigong for vitality and hormonal balance for women over 40. So that's already more specific than women's Qigong for health and longevity, where the age is only sort of implicated. It's not really directly stating that. And what's the appeal of Qigong for these people? It's usually because they want something not stressful. They want something that's calming and adds spaciousness in their lives. I don't know, but you have to understand your audience, and you could say something like gentle and meditative healing movements to overcome perimenopausal menopausal challenges. So these are just examples of how I would optimize maybe your first go at your headline. And it's perfectly fine to start out really general, just get something down and try to find ways to optimize it and make it better. Now it's your turn. Take a moment to write a couple different headline options for your course business and see if you can find a couple different edges where you can refine and make it more specific for your ideal audience. So the next really important element in creating that first impactful impression for your ideal audience is the usage of a hero image. So this hero image, the purpose of the hero image is to create a very strong first impression and to create an interest and make it eye-catching for your ideal student. So what is something that brings the person, draws the people in, and an image that is relevant to your overall course offer or your brand. So the question is, what are you leading with? So if you, as a teacher, you're integral to the course, like people come to take this course because they know you and they feel connected to you and they have trust through your voice, right? Then you're definitely going through the personal brand lens. And it's really essential to include a photo of yourself. So a really high quality headshot of showing your face would create that emotional connection and trust. If you're going through the lens of your course website being a hub for that certain kind of knowledge, so you're leading with your knowledge, it's a hub for your knowledge, then it will be an image that is representative of that knowledge. And you can find high quality photography in stock photography sources, or you can find a custom designed illustration for your course. Personally, I really, really love the illustration route because I feel like illustrations, through the usage of colors, shapes, and motifs, you can really convey a certain message to your ideal audience that's kind of like beyond just beyond the literal, right? So you can really capture the spirit of something through visual language in illustration. So the next element in creating that first impactful impression for your website, your course website, is actually an area that's just below the fold. And there is no name for this area, but when people get into your website, they're on your landing page, they see, the first thing that they see is the above the fold. And on their first scroll down, it's just a tiny scroll down, and then this area is what I'm talking about here. And this area I find is also really crucial because this is an answer to their first kind of like curiosity, allowing them to now take their first journey scrolling down, right? So I feel like this is a very crucial area to now give them a little bit more in-depth your value proposition, like what is a transformation about? Why should they care? And something that gives them a little bit more information and body to the course that you're selling. So I have some suggestions, and I'm going to share some of those tips here with you. So the first tip is listing the top transformation, change, or results that your course offers. So it can be like a pretty succinct, like in paragraph form, but something that is really juicy and entices their interest. So the second tip is listing an evidence or fact about why this works. So this can be like any scientific fact, like some statistics that are related to, learning or getting to their transformation through this modality. But something that's outside of your expertise, like a third party evidence or fact that supports why your solution works. And the third tip is sharing success metrics. So what are your students learning in your course and how is it helping them to go from A to B? So kind of give us like a general or specific statistics about your student success. If you're just starting out and you don't have that evidence yet, I would just take just a few sample students' experiences that they've had and share that. And if you do have the data and you have been selling your course for some time, then you have collected some testimonials or evidence about how this course is helping your students. I would list the top ones there. And the final tip, which is really great for conversion and for getting your students to get a taste of your course and for them to opt in to your newsletters, would be to offer a freebie here. So this freebie would be related to your course or your offerings in general. It could be a mini workshop or a sample module from your course, but it's something that offers the value right away for your ideal audience so that they can already kind of dabble in the solution that they're currently searching for. Thank you for watching and listening to this podcast today. I hope that these tips will help you create a very impactful first impression on your website. And ultimately, I hope that these videos help you create a course business that feels meaningful and spacious. And see you next time.